Well, I've been spending more time than I can really afford playing with this, and I'm trying desperately to see if I can make the camera show you what I'm looking at. This plain blade is actually two pieces, and you can see, I can see, I don't know if the camera's picking that up, that there's a weld there. And when you turn the iron over, you can see that it's sort of two different pieces of metal, the way that it's being ground. So there we are. Now, I'm not in my workshop, and I'm going to put an edge on this, but I'm going to use a stone that I don't really like using. It's not my favourite stone, but it will do for what I'm going to do. And it's actually wide enough for this blade. It's not wide enough for my other blades. And the way that that I was taught to sharpen, I was always taught to do it by hand. The grinding action, if you will, is in the forward stroke. So, little drop of oil. I always use 3-in-1. I say always, I don't always, because this stone came supplied with this oil. So that's what I'm going to use. I'm going to duff this blade over a bit just to give it a cutting edge, and then we'll see if it works. Well, I can see it's still a long way off. You know, at some time in its life it's obviously been duffed over on a grinder and it's gone out of straight, and I can see that there's still a bit of work to do to get the dinks out of it. But in truth, I'm getting a little bit bored with this, and I do have other things that I need to be doing. One of the tests that I was taught by my dad, my mum used to get really upset and worried about this. You can feel how sharp it is by running your thumb across it. That's good enough for a lot of jobs. I can feel that that's a pretty fine edge. It's not a perfect edge, but it's pretty fine. What else? How else did he used to show me to test things? Well, one of the things to do is to pick up a bit of scrap and just see what happens. Does it cut? Yes, it does cut. Not particularly sharp. And another thing that Dad used to do, which I always thought was showing off, he would hold a sheet of paper with just his thumb and he would slice it with a blade. This blade won't do that just yet. To get to that sort of sharpness, he used to sharpen first of all on a stone, then a finer stone, and then a much finer stone sill, and then he would use a strop loaded with jeweller's rouge, and he would hand strop blades. Now, I cheat. In my workshop, what I've got is a polishing mop loaded with, I call it soap. It's not soap, it's a grinding compound. And you can turn a bit of old steel like this into a razor. It takes a lot of time, and it's been a while since I've done a job that needed a blade that sharp. But just, you know, the proof of the pudding, I'm going to throw this back into the plane, stick a bit of timber in the vise, and just run a couple of cuts off it just to show that it does cut. I'm not fully satisfied with it, but you know, we're getting there. There, it works. Yeah, happy with that. Now, something that you will have seen that I've just done, I've just put the plane down on its side. Never, but never, but never put a plane down on its sole unless you've got a block under it, because of course the blade sticks out the bottom. It's a good practice to be in, I think, and certainly it's the way that I was taught. When you finish working with a plane, you put it down on its side. There we are. Right, time to start cooking dinner.